Hey guys, how's it going, man? I'm so glad that other people like my 90s videos. So I'm gonna do a 90s electronic video of y'all and just to remind how awesome the 90s was. I mean, I really had a couple of good channels before, but I was all the way subscribers were total. The best I ever had was 700. So I really hope you guys could help me out to push this through and see where I'm going to pivot. From here. There are a lot of things that's going on in Craig. I'm saying Craig's life, my life. Um, I'm really looking for a better career. I'm in my 40s. I really want to combine the two kind of together, which is career plus YouTuber. Because at my age, really, you have to do something about it, about your life and things like that, because it's actually increasingly more and more difficult as things are progressing. So, yeah, especially after COVID and after my father's death, things like that was difficult. I mean, I do have kids, so yeah, I have to provide. So, anyways, just like and subscribe for now. You don't have to do anything. Just help me out, please. We need to put this algorithm out, and I need to know what type of things you guys are looking for because 10 years ago I did a very good channel um, with a relationships. And but there are a lot of pressure everywhere, including even on YouTube, to shut it down. And then you can't help it, man. I'm gonna have to move on to different things. So let's do electronics that were freaking awesome back in the days. Okay, so back in the days, we totally love big screen TVs. The best TV there was the Sony Trinitron, right? So I don't think we need to have a display on how it looks like because we all remember how it kind of looked like. It kind of looked kind of square, and then it was pretty big, very heavy. I'm saying piece of thing. And while we're actually in Asia, there actually are better TVs. There actually are like the widescreen TVs. They were not standard, and they just pull it out a little bit wider because those people actually had laser disc and things like that, so they could pull it out. Let's go to Panasonic. Uh, I gotta type it. Yeah. So let's see if we could find it. Yeah. So it's basically this is how it looked like in Asia. Uh, it's a little bit wider, and I think the images was a little bit crispier as well. And then I think back then you can try to get something similar through like a mail ordering magazines and stuff like that. They actually used to make like very little um, one of these things. So this you could tell is a little bit wider than a 4x3 one. And I'm just like here telling you that there are like such a TV back then that you guys really missed out. It's actually this is how it looks like. Yeah, so there were actually all the TVs kind of look like that in Asia, and actually some of the TVs cost even more, a lot more than the US. But the people are willing to pay for it because that's essentially a home staple, right? So everybody will come home, watch the TV. It's a big, big, big thing. It's not like TVs today where people actually don't even turn it on. They don't have to turn it on. And so this was really really cool. So we're just going from visuals to then audio, right? Audio wise, I think everybody was into CDs. So actually my Taiwanese like buddy of mine. So he had an Iowa NSX stereo with like I think it's like 5 speakers or something like that. It was like a lot of speakers. So I don't know why we needed like so many speakers back then, but we needed it somehow. And these are like the rotation trays. I mean, some of them look a little bit better, some of them look a little bit worse. And so apparently this was how it looked like. The outputs of these things are huge, you know what I'm saying? It's not, but back then we were very picky, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh man, it sounds a little bit better in JVC. I like the JVC sound a little bit better. So like, um, but it really doesn't matter. So this is the Iowa NSX. I liked it. I liked it. There was a little bit of like a hollow sound to it for the Iowa, and then but I like the JVC, man. Like I don't know if we could find like the one that my dad had. He threw it away. I mean, it was a little bit unfortunately. But these were called the like shelf system or something like that. I don't think they were called uh hi-fi, you know what I'm saying? But like I think literally they don't have that model. We had the 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 European slash like the Asian model instead. So but I felt like it was pretty good sound already. I mean, of course, like back in the days, we wanted to have the 5.1 um, receivers and things like that, something like this. But this actually came way later. You know, this actually came, I think, like in that looks like in the 2000s. You know, 2005, 2007. It was like with a DVD player. Yeah, back then these were very heavy. You know, what I'm saying. Actually, this is exactly what I had. Oh yeah, I missed this so much. I missed the little remotes, man. Look at this stuff. It was great. I don't think like yeah, this was definitely not. I don't think it was ever sold in America, but I love the sounds. You know, I still have these speakers. I really want to plug them in, and yeah, that's the thing. Like I'm trying to buy these speakers because like today there while the sounds quality of all of these are okay, all of them are okay, not great, but I really want to hear that, vintage sound, like more of a has a much more fuller, what I'm saying? It's like, when you listen to music, you want a more full sound, and this actually creates it. I mean, I'm not a huge like music buff. Really, I'm not, because I'm really have, trickle down to very, very um, simple stuff. But I've actually back in the days, everybody wanted the Onkyo 5.1. Like I mean, I guess it looked like one of these. I had one. Somehow it broke, but that's fine. I think we bought another one. But I don't think the receiver is like as is it was pretty important, but I think like at the end of the day, especially if you live in cities, these are actually becoming less and less like relevant, as people just really don't have space for these type of things. And you're not really gonna go that loud with it. And if you actually live in HOA, homeowners association, yeah, like it's by like pretty yeah, annoying. So anyways, so I'll also review some of the computers that you guys actually possibly had back in the days. So in the late 90s, we actually moved from the Pentium to the MMX. Yeah, I think these were some of your computer setup. I mean, most likely, if you actually are from the United States, you wouldn't have this setup, because unless you bought it from a computer magazine or something like that. So it was a complete system back in the days. It was really cool. You know what I'm saying? It's actually really hard to get like a 19-inch monitor or something like that. 17-inch was like the norm. I think I started with a 15-inch, and then later 17-inch, and then at the end I don't know. I went to like one of those refurbished store and I got like a 24-inch Nokia monitor or something like that. Big Nokia monitor. It was so heavy. I mean, at that by that time when I bought it, it's like has a slightly tint to it already. But back in the days, we didn't really care. You know what I'm saying? Actually, that thing actually went on and lived for another like 8, 9 more years after I left the U.S. And was it something like this? I can't even find it anymore. I think they like totally were destroyed, and obviously my dad destroyed it, so we didn't want to keep anything. Yeah, it's not any of these, man. So like, no, it's not this one. Yeah, I don't think like it's so easily can be found anymore, cause I think everybody got rid of it. It's kind of unfortunate. It was a nice monitor that I had, and I spotted out, and freaking like grabbed it like it's like 200 something pounds. It's not 200 something pounds. It was very heavy. The biggest problem with these monitors is like they're heavy. You know what I'm saying? They're hard to move, and you know, it's tough, man. And then I think like later, so things were kind of progressing, as we were growing up, and we're moving to a more digital, more like a silver, what I'm saying, like type of electronics, and the boombox is actually having a comeback. Actually, I bought one of these, like JVC. I like JVC everything, man. JVC boombox. Yeah, I actually bought this used and it was pretty good. But however, I dropped it one time and it completely just like broke. And but this would have been really good. I actually brought this to tennis back in the days, and I liked tennis so much back then. And then I don't remember if I had this one or this one. I don't know, man. Like I totally broke it though. I think that one time, cause like the chain snapped like right here, and then I couldn't really recover from it. And back in the days, you still need like some kind of um like output. So we had an iPhone. Yeah, I think this is mine, dude. This is mine. That wasn't mine. This is mine. Yeah, it totally looked like crazy. And like this is auxiliary here. So back in the days we put an iPod there. So it was still in the 2000s. Um, but yeah, that's actually we sometimes like some of these times actually merge into one piece for me because the 90s and to 2000s I was still a youngster. So like when you're a youngster you very much care about electronics and things like that. So yeah, but I got this like really cheap. I forgot it was like $300-400 or something like that. So Hong Kong. So by that time I already have moved back. It was like one of my first years coming back. Yeah, it was way too big back then, and there wasn't like as many like Bluetooth powerful speakers yet. But even for these, like in outdoor is not very strong. You know what I'm saying? You have to have a wall behind it to actually make it sound good. If you have like a completely three-dimensional space that has no walls, just empty, it's very tough to put substantiate the sound. Oh man, I think I drank out tea already. Yeah, so that was definitely I think one of the biggest like last piece of electronics equipment that I bought. I also convinced like people that like I really needed a Blu-ray player. So Back in the days, I really want a Blu-ray player for some reason, you know. But it was short-lived, man. Blu-ray, everything was short-lived because like DivX, streaming, everything was becoming popular. So all these things are becoming relics, you know. All these like electronics. Back in the days, we go read these magazines. You know what I'm saying? Like home audio. Like you would read like home audio magazines, hi-fi magazines. I don't even know if like these things exist anymore. Um, because you want to know what's really out there. We spend a lot of time actually in magazines, you know. And oh yeah, don't forget about the Bose like speaker system for most like normies. Man, they were making so much money from these like cube speakers. And man, there's so many of these guys back in the days. They did this summer job or whatever job. You know, they made a couple $100, a couple thousand, and then they drop it on this. This was around $899 to I think like $12.99. So it was expensive, like this whole set thing. But people bought it. Is it Bose, man? Is it Bose? I think by certain, you know, it's already pretty good. By certain whatever. But I think a lot of people when they install a CD player was already a really big thing. Most people's CD players look like this, and yeah, my friend would drive like, you know, and I would have to swap it for him because like he has a manual. But later it turns into more of a graphical interface. And then my rich Chinese restaurant owner son, well, he was actually becoming owner himself. So he's actually the most wealthy guy I know at the time. The most buying power. I think back in the days he was just like, tell me to just buy something for him, because like he had no time to buy things, so he doesn't care about the price. Just say like, oh, just get it for me ahead of time. Researched it. So he had a Honda Accord. It was already very nice back then, and then he just like say, "Oh, just put it." I just said like, "Yeah, this is the best one. Just put it in." and then he got it. But now looking back, I realized that he was right. First of all, you should try to make money, get your money making skills first. But even though I um, didn't work there, I understand the work ethics of what a person should be. Yeah, this is something that we didn't even get in the U.S. was like the mini disc, but this was the mini disc, and I had the mini disc player. And if I actually knew how to change out some of these things and electronics, um, had on Honda Accord or something like that, it would have been fantastic. I had a Mitsubishi Galant later, so that was also very good. So it's very easy to swap out the audio system. I had a JVC Chameleon. So I do miss this type of graphic. It's this type of graphic, man, that I had, and it was pretty good. It was pretty good. JVC had a lot of good stuff, man. It's kind of sad that they don't really make good stuff anymore. So I just had this. I didn't have this. It was basically a full-on, almost like semi-touchscreen. These are not touchscreen, but it looks like all very well integrated. I had this version. I loved it. Actually, I think I got the same thing for him as well, like the Chinese restaurant guy. Recently, I went back and to see him. So he doesn't recognize me. So to the Chinese restaurant guy. So I was like, that's fine. Sometimes people don't recognize somebody for some reason, but I think it's better to leave it that way. And let's go to my mini disc player, man. Had a Kenwood mini disc. So I never got like these mini disc players. These were way too advanced, and they were like started brand freaking new. You know, when they first came out, when the standard first came out from Sony. And later I got the more affordable version. I think this is it. Yeah, exactly this one, but I think I had one in blue. And I even sold it at a very good price on eBay. Because it was Japanese, you can only put Japanese words in it. So, like back in the days, you could actually make pretty good money just bringing electronics from Asia all the way to America and jack up the price for it. And I think I should definitely have like place way much more money and doing things like that, just swapping it out, going to Asia, buying tons of things, bring it back. But I think like the airplane cost also was pretty expensive. So but I think if you know good agents and good things, there gotta be connections that you could take, and travel agencies that you could definitely take on the non-peak time to make this. So this is actually a pretty standard remote. It works with even my sister's one. So my sister, when I got this one, and then my sister got mad, is like, dude, I want one too. And then so she bought this at Circuit City, but it doesn't have like the remote. But she could use my remote if she wanted to. I was like, well, whatever, you know what I'm saying? So it's basically the same. This is it. This is the one that she got. Well, I think it looks still pretty good. And yeah, actually, the American version doesn't have the remote. I don't know why you guys need the remote. Why not? Just listen to it like this. Yeah. But there were a lot of good tape players. So I'll talk about some of the tape players that the American never got. And I brought it to school and stuff like that. Panasonic tape player. I don't know if I could find it anymore. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's like they're gone already. I think the American version would be this. It actually has radio. Mine doesn't have a radio, so this one would be a lot thicker. But back in the day, is that I had the Asian version, which is kind of like this. There's the same remote. This is a remote that um, is start, stop, and things like that. And then you listen to cassette. This is a cassette deck. So it's a standard remote. This is a standard remote back in the days for by one click and then two clicks. So actually these were pretty cool, man. I think mine was around 1,000 something Hong Kong. I forgot. Like this was a little bit more, but I think I didn't have that much money, so I went with a slightly cheaper one. It's a little bit fatter, you know what I'm saying? A little bit fatter one, a little bit cheaper, but saves a lot of money. Plus, also I think like if it is too small, it might break, things like that. I think I have this one. Yep, this is it. Yep, this is it, man. So, well, it still has a pretty sleek design, you know what I'm saying? I like all these designs back in the days. It was pretty cool. It was pretty cool, man. And yeah, man. I mean, like in Americans, we're like most Americans would be like, "What is that? What's that?" But things were moving pretty fast, and then we actually get into the Discman. So the Discman phase, I never really bought any. Um, I think I bought an Iowa Discman. I think I bought it from Best Buy or something like that. I think it's exactly this one right here. XP V70 portable CD player. I think it has also like a car jack into it or something like that. Also gave you like a free cassette. I'm not so sure, but yeah, I don't really use it for jogging. I think I got it on special. It was like 99 bucks or something like that. It was pretty good. Yeah, by that time, I haven't really gone back to China or Hong Kong for a very long time. So like during those years, I didn't try to find like a better Discman or something like that. But like later, but the CD phase is actually like phasing out really quickly. And you know what was coming in was the MP3 player. And then so I sported like a really small Samsung MP3 player and started wearing that instead of the old school like mini disc. I think I used like mini disc for 2 years. I mean it was fantastic, but I had to dub it over from the MP3. So when the MP3 ones came out, they were smaller. And I think at the time Samsung actually made one. I think it looks like this. I'm not so sure. Something like of this type of look. It has a green screen on it. And that actually was with me, I think, back in the days in 2002, 2003. So even a lot of my Japanese friends are like, "What is that?" I was like, "Oh man, that's an MP3 player, man." That's like, and I guess at the time for them, they were kind of shocked, you know what I'm saying? Because like, I think I have this, the Yep. Yeah, I think so. I'm not really sure, actually. Oh no 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 no. Yep, this is it. Man, I completely forgot. You know what I'm saying? Like this one is pretty good. This one I used it for a very long time, and I was using it for. It has an armband, so you could just like put it here, start jogging with it, and yeah. I mean, that was pretty cool. That was really cool, really cool, man. I mean, that's all the electronics um, that was kind of going on. And for me, I was also a very creative person. So like DVD players were kind of expensive. I don't want to bring a DVD to the dorm room either. Because back in the days, Fast and Furious, man. Look, remember they want to steal DVD players? So that was kind of expensive. So actually, I bought this, man. Creative DVD player. Yeah, this is actually what I bought. It was actually a very complicated design that needed a graphic card plus a DVD-ROM so it could output to a TV. Now that's was pretty crazy. So like the people that back in the days, man, I was playing The Matrix, and then like on TV, and it was like such a crisp like quality. This is actually the menu that I actually had back then, and yeah, like it was. You know, I was actually creating like a movie magic, like in my own um, dorm room. So which was like really cool, you know. Lots of things are really cool, man. I mean, back in the days, I don't know. My mom, I guess I at least I have access to it, but I don't really have a lot of autonomy. You know, what I'm saying with my mom and things like that. It's like there are definitely a like, good amount of fighting, definitely back in the days. And I didn't have these speakers, but I had like others, sound blasters. So they were pretty cool. Um, Obviously, things changed a lot also after 2 years after this thing came out. So there were other DVD players. We don't require to use this anymore. And yeah, that was kind of the end of it. I think later, like there are actually less and less like creative products that people are buying because people are using onboard motherboard music um, like players, like audio players, so they don't need the sound blaster anymore. So which is kind of interesting as well. What was this? Yeah, I think like let's see what else I did buy. No, that's about it. I mean, like later, I think I got into like an Xbox. Uh, Actually, maybe we should talk about PlayStation, man. So, as not a common like not a very good Asian, I actually also I pirated uh, the PlayStation. Um, so basically, back in the days, you could place a spring. You could place a spring in the PlayStation, load the original game, and load the pirated game like later. So we had that playing it back in the days, and yeah, man. I mean, it was kind of cool. It was kind of cool. We actually play a lot of pirated games from Taiwan, man, like Toshiden, things like that. It's incredible games, man. Those were incredible graphics, incredible things. It's like whoa, we're just like it's freaking beautiful. And yeah, I mean, played American games too, man. But we had the access of Japanese game. I mean, you could play like you could get American. That's the thing about back then. You could get the American PlayStation, get the old version, and then like it works with all the Japanese games, all the party games, as long as it's the loaded spring. But later, I bought one on my own, so I wasn't using my other brother's PlayStation, and then but that one we needed a to flash like an IC on there, so that cost me a good 40-50 dollars or something like that. But it was cool too because then it's just directly loads it. We'd have to do one more thing about loading the game. So that was cool too. There's a lot of things that was cool, man. But later, I didn't get into the PlayStation 2. I just went ahead and went to the Xbox. And then, because the Xbox, we have tons of Flash, you could do it. Like, I think you could do tons of, like, upgrades, things like that to the Xbox, basically ripping off a lot of the games and things like that. We would just rent it and then just rip it, stuff like that. Um, Upgrade it into a hard drive. Yeah, I mean, that's some of the things that we kind of did, but like I play a lot of Tiger Woods golf for some reason. But I think that after that it was just like every single computer was so powerful after that was that we no longer really need like literally we just need a computer, because everything is there already. So obviously, but I miss out on the Bitcoin stuff, because like by that time I was already heavily in a relationship and things like that. So yeah, that's the thing. But it was interesting, man. It was interesting. It was like I had all these. Um, yeah, I mean, but I didn't. I never gone through like the headphones. You know what I'm saying? I didn't get like. There were a lot of like strange To me, it was like a lot of Sony. Um, there were a lot of headphones that's like sports headphones, but people didn't really like bring a tape player or something like that. and it was like a really unique design or something like that. Oh, I forgot actually. I had these headphones. They were actually tilted backwards. Let's see if somebody could wear this. I don't know, man. I don't think like people have. That was a style, the Y2K style, man. This is a Y2K style. Never got as popular in America though. So these are also pretty cool, man. Yeah, this was like a thing back then for Americans, and we didn't really understand it. um, like these type of headphones as well. Yeah, it's not at the moment. It wasn't really popular in Asia, and I think these were more like popular. I don't know. I was really into headphones all the way up to like in the 2000s, something like that, 2000 something. I think my last really good headphone was like a Sony. It was like Sony professional headphones, something like that. Wow, it's pretty cheap nowadays, I guess. 2005, something like that. I don't know, man. I forgot what it was. Yeah, it was like really big and clunky, but I just really wanted to have a really full sound. Plug it into one of the iPods. It's actually very powerful, actually. It's the sounds and the bass and everything. And then so I had that for a while until I upgraded to like a Monsters Beats, Monsters Beat headphone. And so after that, I was like, everything is a blur, man. You know what I'm saying? Like on electronics, because like, not really that interested in anything. I'm not. I wasn't. I was done. I don't know, man. It's just the music also, like, I don't really like it that much. As well, I remember the last music that I wished that I could, go out and have more fun and with like, was that guy like who's the guy like Redfall, when he sang the I'm sexy and I know it, and then like after that was like, you know, I don't remember anything. I don't really remember any really good song. I remember there's also another good song. I think they were like what is it called? I think it's like Lean On by Laser, right? Yeah. That was before like people really dislike India. It's kind of strange how the world actually has turned around. So it is a lot of Indians are saying like, "Oh, well, we're targeted, man. We're targeted." I don't know about that, man. You know what I'm saying? I think people have to like seen things. Um, Definitely for sure. But yeah, I mean, like I said, for those Indian haters, yeah, none of these electronics were made in India. FYI, So, yeah, don't be hating, man. I mean, don't be hating, man, because like we really did a lot of those, man. We did a lot of those. I think some of the brands obviously got relegated, such as Sanyo. I had Sanyo stuff. I got actually my friend was like his company was Da Tong Tan Tong, right? I don't think they make TVs anymore, but he had a TV, so. But I think it was like a Panasonic or Toshiba in the inside. So they didn't really have that capability back in the days. I think they did some TV monitors later, but then later I think it's just completely, yeah, it's gone. But he did donated tons of like computers to um, the the computer lab back then. So they kind of like semi worship him. So that's the thing, man. That's when as a very young age, that's when I know money talks. Bullshit. Walks. I don't know, man. Can I still buy one nowadays? Can I still buy a Tantong TV monitor? Yeah, flat screen was a big thing back then, man. Flat screen was a big thing. Can I buy it? It's done, right? It's 43 inch. I don't think they have it anymore. What? No longer available. Of course, yeah. I think also for a short while there was also a Gateway monitor, Gateway plasma monitor, man. It was like $1,999. At the time, it was extremely cheap. Gateway plasma TV. That's actually all we talked about back in the days, man. I guess maybe that's also the reason why I was like cool with some of the guys, like so this was like the most budgeted friendly TV out there for Gateway. I think they sold a lot of those, you know what I'm saying? Because it was just like they beat the nearest competition by like $400 or $500 or something like that. I forgot. And then it was cheaper. Hey, you know what else I did when I was in China though? When I first got back to China, I actually bought a plasma TV. So it was kind of expensive. I think at the time, I think I got it for $4,999. Man, but it was cinematic back in the days, man. It's 42 inch, so it was still big. 2008, man. Plasma TV, 2000, HPC. Yeah, I told my friend about it. It's like, dude, man, I got HPC, man. Alright, what the F is that? I wish, like, I could actually find it again. I'm pretty sure it's all gone, man. Like, it's the older generation of this. Yeah, I didn't even take a picture of it, man. It was so crisp. Like, it was just like only displaying 1080i, I think. I was forgot it. Was it 720p or 1080i? I think it was all the way up to 1080i. I think at the time, like um, I think my friend's wife, said, "Man, it's so clear." One of my better friends, definitely wife. And you know what? Like, I have to say, his wife is beautiful. Yeah, it's yeah, he had it pretty lucky, man. He got everything, dude. And yeah, I mean, I don't think, yeah, literally, it's not floating in the internet anymore because literally, it is too old, man. And then obviously, I think they went out of business. Obviously, but lasted for a while, man. Lasted for a while. I don't even know how that like. Yeah, my mom. I think my mom didn't like it later, so she got rid of it. But it was, I don't know, lasted I think 7 8 years or something like that. It was different times, man. Different times, bro. Plasma TV, man. So it was, yeah, it was so heavy. You know what I'm saying? So when we got it, we had to assemble it, and then I asked my mom to help me. And then because she had to spot me, I'm using most of my strength. I'm a pretty strong guy, but it was still pretty heavy. I was like, man, it's heavy, man. And then so we laid it down. We thank God we had a little towel on the bottom, make sure we won't scratch it. Whew, crazy, man. crazy. Yeah, but I think a lot of these electronics items actually defined me as a person. You know what I'm saying? Like we did something. You know what I'm saying? We did something at the time. That's why we bought it. Or I did something with it. All of it had some kind of meaning to me, and I'm not a big time video game guy. But I think all these electronics, I think like it shaped my social skills or shaped my personal skills or did something with people. So it's just not only it serves like a purpose as entertainment, but actually social with other people. So yeah, so hopefully like we could share some kind of thing like that we did together. I don't know, and yeah, but I think other electronics wasn't as I don't think as interesting. Like I think like later, I mean I did buy like a LED TV. It was like smaller, but it's just for the room. Man, I even forgot what brand it was. It was a pretty bad brand, but I wish I actually remembered. Because yeah, back in the days we had no like I have a lot less money. You know what I'm saying? So like I bought it used, so I had to carry that thing all the way back to like the house. But that worked great as well, man. Because 'cause we watched a lot of TV back then when my child was born. Like she was even checking it out, so it was pretty good. We hung that TV up, used it for a while. It was really good. Many, many, many years, man. Many years. Actually, I don't think that thing ever broke. It's just kind of continuously lived on. Man, I forgot. Like it was just. I think sometimes the remote breaks before the TV does. Oh man, I forgot. Man, I cannot remember the LCD TV 27-inch brands 2008. I'll define. It's definitely not a Sanyo. Yeah, I definitely cannot find it anymore because it was just too far gone. But I mean, it was like a spare TV. Yeah, I think when we were kind of like Dagon had no money back then, I actually bought this TV. It was like 27-inch as well. But this thing actually ended up working really well. It looked terrible, like on display, but it was good. It was actually very good. It was very durable. Couldn't find it anymore, man. I don't know. Mag, man, it's MAG. I think used to make monitors or something like that. It's exactly this thing. The picture looks very terrible default wise, but we just switch it around the contrast and it worked perfect. After that, all the TVs were kind of like a blur, I no longer really care about it, things like that. Um, yeah, but these were all like really, really like literally, because our kids our wife. Everything was interacting with all these electronics back in the days, man. All of it. I think the death of electronics was like I think my wife was playing um, farm like Happy Farm or something like that, and she's are so sucked in. Like we were just going outside, having a good time, and she just kept on pressing, pressing, pressing. You know, I was like, man, I think we are cooked. So yeah, well, oh my God, it's like 50 minutes. So I think let's just end this and then let's talk about something else later. All right, man. See you later. Bye.